Whenever it comes to the PMI perspective, they expect that we have handled large project, and we need to accept that in large project the communication management becomes more more complex. And because imagine a team of 300 people spread throughout the world, speaking many different languages with many different cultural ways of communicating, and you can better see how much work planning takes for the communication management for this kind of project and how worthwhile the effort is. Many project managers fail to recognize how much impact communication have on a project and how complex they can get. When we teach communication, we always emphasize on the importance of the communication. This topic is very important in project management PMI exams, and basically it will involve the basic concept of communication, the effective communication, but it will be very useful in real world. Imagine, I'll ask you a question that you are handling a team, very large team, and if you handle a large team, if you don't report to your customers regularly, if you don't I'm talking again in an IT perspective point. If you don't speak to your customer regularly, if you don't talk to your team leads or team regularly, then it can happen that your project which would have been on track, but it would not be known from the customer point of view. With customer point of view, it is very important that you need to communicate properly the dates and the scheduled dates, if there is going to be a revised dates, those dates, right? Because he can then incur millions of losses, because at the end, it is in the business, it is about profit and loss. So your one communication, he might be waiting for the delivery, and if you fail to communicate, then definitely it will have a high stake on the relationship which you have with the customer. So think about your real world communications. Definitely project manager, I have seen many managers, even I have used it as a, it is a skill that you can make people to work. You can negotiate large contracts, etc. Basically we need to understand that the communication seems to be simple, but it is very important in real world perspective. Do you do the following? I'm asking you a question in real world. You ask people what information they need and when they need. You plan communications to all stakeholder. Customize standardized communication practices within your organization to the needs of the project. Do you do that? Use multiple methods of communicating. Plan how to confirm communication is actually received and understood. Realize that communication is two-sided. It's always important that you understand that there is a need of two-sided communication. Analyze how factors like location, culture, security, privacy, and language will impact communication on the project. Plan communication with each stakeholder based on the individual's need and interest. Remember to plan communication to such people as team members, bosses. Have a system for storing, maintaining, and retrieving project information. If you don't do all these things, you don't plan it properly, then definitely you are in a very much trouble in large project execution, because your project will go haywire, and nobody will know the updates. I can tell you a real world situation which has happened to me, right? When I was on leave, I was executing a very big project application, redesigning application, where it was a financial account module of an ERP, where the redesigning project was a business application which the customer was wanting to release as early as possible, and it was very very critical for him. So what happens that in that scenario, what happens, the customer was very vigorous and he was very aggressive at that point of time, and I have taken some emergency leave at that time, as a project manager. Then my leads were not able to communicate. Then it became a very highly escalated issue, and it went till the organization level and all, so many things. So if a project manager is not able to communicate, then definitely it is our job to delegate it to somebody, or groom the leads accordingly, that how to communicate to the customer, because at the end he is dependent upon your informations to say to his bosses and his stakeholders. So basically communication management is very very critical.